Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. It is May 18th. I've got some delicious, high quality H2O because it's getting hot out and we gotta stay hydrated. So maybe you have some water or some coffee. Bottoms up. Since it's still May, it is still Mental Health Awareness Month. I do want to stay on this topic for just a little while today. Um, the world is probably as crazy as it's been in my 33 years of existence. So there are plenty of stressors out there, plenty of things coming from left field. I mean, life is always that way, but now it seems particularly volatile. So just make sure you're looking out for your friends and family. Give them a hey, what's up? If you haven't talked to them for a while, or they seem to be maybe taking a little while longer to respond to text, just make sure they're doing okay. If we all look out for each other, we will all make it through this crazy existence that is humanhood. It's crazy out there. And along those lines, I'm going to give you a magic question, but there's a trick to it. The magic question, you've probably said it 6 times this week already. How are you? But the words by themselves, they don't do anything. You have to bring in the magic. And the magic is actually meaning it when you ask it and listening to the response. By itself, you're passing someone in the hallway, hey, how are you? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how are you? How are you doing? You doing okay? Oh, that's awesome. Tell me more. If you give that question sincerely and listen for the response, that's a magic question. That really hits to the heart of what we are doing in everything. How are you? How are you doing? What is the quality of, your experience right now? I think you can get a lot out of that question, but you have to mean it. You put the magic in. So my challenge to you this week, I want you to ask somebody, "How are you?" Just those 3 words, but mean it sincerely and keep your ears and your heart open to what the response is. And I think that you'll see it's a magic question too. All right, speaking of magic, I witnessed a miracle last week, last Friday to be exact. You curious what it is? Now, I'm not talking about like angels in the outfield. I'm not talking about like water turning into wine. I'm talking about the Bruce Almighty type miracles. Amazing movie, by the way. You guys should see. If you haven't seen Bruce Almighty, do yourself a favor and watch it. But at one point in that movie, Morgan Freeman, who's playing God, he says something along the lines of, um, a single parent who raises 2 kids and still has time to go to her son's soccer game. That's a miracle. A teenager who says no to drugs and yes to an education. That's a miracle. That's the kind of miracle I'm talking about. He says you got to be the miracle. And on Friday, I witnessed one. I don't want to tell you everything about my life on this like public forum, but I work at a special needs high school where all of the individuals that come to my school have some disability or some learning condition that causes them to need a little extra support. And we just put on a performance of Willy Wonka, the musical. Now, if you haven't worked in that environment, you might not know how big of a miracle that is, but trust me. We had, I really don't want to say we, the people running it, I was the smallest part in it. But the people who organized this got somewhere between 30 and 40 students, all with varying needs. Some students semi-verbal, some students non-verbal, a variety of different um, just situations that make it more difficult to learn and to perform on stage. They got 40 students to do that nearly flawlessly. Um, and every year we pull this off. It is something special. The students loved it. They were so proud of themselves, and we were proud of them. I mean, they did a really fantastic job. Um, and Willy Wonka is such a beautiful story. It was a the movie version with Gene Wilder was one of my mom's favorite movies growing up, so I watched it a ton. It's an amazing story, and these students worked all year. Now think about this. This is a special needs high school. There is no time after school to practice because we don't have after school events at our school regularly. We can't do the transportation, so no after school practicing and people with a vast variety of musical talents and vast variety of needs. All of these students have IEPs, and they came together and just delivered an amazing performance. And this was kind of a double miracle because I'm gonna be completely frank with you. Friday was one of the worst days that we've had at my school in terms of behaviors in quite a long time. Um, it was very difficult. I saw multiple teachers crying during the day. That doesn't usually happen, or at least not where people can see it. And it was just a tough day. It was some people were real um, tired by the end of the school day. However, we had a performance during the day, like period 7 and 8, the last two periods of the day, and then we had another musical performance at night for all the parents. Now, these same staff members who really had a tough day. We went through it a little bit. Some more than me. They still came back to help out with the musical at night. We had the most staff I think we've ever had help out with the musical. And I mean, I got 3 hours of sleep the night before, and when I had to turn around and go back to work for the musical, um, I sure as Philadelphia did not want to do that. Um, but as soon as I got there, I'm really glad that I did. Um, and it was really the best of what the staff members can be and the best of what the students can be. It was just like a typical high school musical performance. I feel no different. Um, and that's really an amazing thing whenever that can come together. Whenever you have a bunch of young people coming together, working for a long time and supporting each other, cheering each other on. Just the camaraderie behind stage was a miracle. I mean, it's really heartwarming. It is motivating. It is reminding um, everyone at my place of work why we do what we do, and so I just had to gloat for a while because that was really something special. If anyone listening was a part of that, please pat yourself on the back. It would be wonderful if a student saw this one time. If you were a student in Willy Wonka musical, way to go! You were awesome, and I can't wait to see you in next year's musical. I think that wraps us up for the day. I'm getting a little long on time here. Don't wanna bore anyone. I do want to give you one more positive channel. I've been trying to give you positive YouTube channels for when you want more positivity than I can provide necessarily. I mean, 8 minutes a week isn't a tremendous amount. My positive channel of the week is called JD, A Lawyer Explains. Now, you do have to be into law for this. This is a lawyer that goes through different court cases and what he thinks about them. But he's a really good guy. If you watch a couple videos, you'll see why I'm recommending him as a positive video person. Um, so if you're into law at all or you want to learn, check out JD, A Lawyer Explains. I'll link it below. And I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see you next week. Cheers, friends.